That. That's sweet.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome, and that's a sweet hat, too. I just want to start by saying thank you. No offense to rivals, but thank you to the bros, the guys from the Scout website, for in the last little over 24 hours have raised over $15,000 for our family foundation that goes to children at risk and in need, and I just think that's absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to start by, I know they probably watch these things because I think there might be some passionate fans in that group. So from Shannon and I, and from all the kids, I'm just look at you, from Shannon and I and all the kids that you're helping with your generosity, we just sincerely want to thank you. It's awesome, man. I mean, it's really humbling. So it's one of the real cool things about college football that I found is the true passion for the team, that it comes through in the fans. You know, there's this connection to college football that you don't find necessarily at the next level. You know, so many of the people that support you either went to school at UCLA, or their kids went to school at UCLA, or they grew up around this area and have been UCLA fans, and I mean, you really do feel it. And so when things like that happen, it's pretty cool. So thanks a lot. So other than that, it was a good practice, and we're creeping closer to the game. I think there's a real anxiety on our team to get to Saturday. It's only Wednesday. You know, it just feels like we've been going forever. I think one of the challenges for us right now is just keep it fresh, not peak too soon, and keep that edge, you know, that sharpness that you need going into a game on Saturday. So that's what we're attempting to do.
Coach, talk about fresh. Maniacal effort t-shirts.
I love it.
This is your mantra.
Maniacal effort, uncommon effort.
This is your mantra,
maniacal.
man.
That's a pretty sweet shirt right there. I like that.
We will turn you on to these.
But I need a hat too.
I will hook you up with the lid as well, but the shirt, this is directly from your essence, man.
It is? I love it. Well, thank you.
We're going to hook you up with that. Remember the I don't give a rat's ass about USC
No,
shirt,
that's
guys?
not what I said, though. But I said...
Remember you on DP show?
Yeah, but what I said is we were into Stanford week, so it was I don't give a rat's behind about USC. Now I'm concentrating on Stanford. But you did those shirts too?
Yes. Would you like some?
I'd love one.
We're going to hook you up, man. You deserve a great job.
Thanks.
And fellas, just offensive line, just the general 52 sacks last year. How do you see it going into Nevada, my brother?
Well, 52 sacks is a lot. It's not all on the offensive line. Okay. You know, backs got to protect. Brett's got to get rid of the ball. Receivers got to get open. But it's certainly a statistic that we have to improve. It was as bad as you could get. And I think we've made a lot of strides to improving that. I think the fact that we've got 4 returners on our offensive line. Brett's a year into the system, has a better understanding. Our receivers are more comfortable with Brett. Brett's more comfortable with them. You know, that number has to come down. Now, that's a big goal of ours. If we could cut that in half, that would be a heck of an accomplishment.
With Jordan James, what's been the biggest, I guess, change with him from last year to this year that you've seen?
I've seen Jordan become more of a downhill runner. We all know that he's shifty and he's quick, and he can make people miss down the field. One of the things I think that might have held him back a little bit in the past was that he'd make his moves before he'd get to the line of scrimmage. When you make your moves before you get to the line of scrimmage, typically what happens is the hole closes on you. And so what he's been able to improve upon is putting his foot in the ground and going downhill. And then when he gets to the second level or the third level, then that shiftiness comes in. But his ability to hit the hole is what's impressed me.
Do you think people have it seems like there's kind of a stigma when you say running back by committee. Why do you think people stigmatize that?
Because I think everybody wants to see the guy. And I think we've narrowed it down. I think on Saturday night, you know, you'll see the majority of the reps come out of 2 guys, and then you'll see a couple others get some reps. I'd like to see them all get some time. But, you know, Jordan's our starter right now, and Steven's our backup guy. And those are the 2 guys that we're going to ride most often. But we think that there is certainly a role for Paul, and we think there's certainly a role for Malcolm as well. And so we're going to make sure we get them in.
So would you still call it a running back by committee, or is that not really accurate?
No, I don't know. I don't know what I'd call it. I'm going to let you call it. Okay. I'm just going to call it, I think it's a pretty good backfield.
All right.
Speaking of roles, Kenny Clark, how is he looking going into this week? In your opinion, is he going to play?
He's going to play. He's definitely going to play. He's going to play some nose tackle for us. He's on some special teams. I wouldn't be surprised, Tracy, if he gets 25 to 30 plays on defense. Now, it depends on how many plays we have, obviously, but it wouldn't surprise me to see him get that many. So he's going to work in the rotation. We're going to work guys around a little bit on the defensive line. I know you guys have seen it. You know, I know you don't want to report on it, so I'm not going to say to let you report on it. But you know, we're kind of mixing and matching, like I said the other day. And Kenny has forced us to do that because he's that good. I mean, you know, you look at Kenny and Eddie and Kylie Fitz. That's a heck of a freshman defensive line, and they all deserve to play. And we're gonna get them all a chance to play.
Do you detect, Coach, a fresher spirit going into Saturday's opener than last year's opener?
Maybe just different because we're playing at home, you know, as opposed to traveling down to Houston to play Rice. There's so much that was unknown. We love playing at the Rose Bowl. You know, it's fun to be in front of our crowd. We love night games. You know, 7:07 kickoff in the Rose Bowl is pretty spectacular. The sky's beautiful. The atmosphere is amazing. It's electric in there. So I think our guys are excited about that. Running out of their tunnel, playing on their grass. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
What are you expecting from those young defensive backs their first game in the Rose Bowl?
You know, I tell you what, they've had 3 really good days of practice so far, so that's a good thing. I've seen them work in meetings. You know, their preparation has been really good. You know, I want them to just be able to play free and not worry. You know, be able to cut it loose and let their skills take over. I think they've worked hard enough on the mental part of it that they know what's going on. They know the adjustments. I don't want to see them play hesitant. You know, I don't want them to play not to make a mistake. I want to see them play to win. And sometimes that might mean they give up a play. And if they do give up a play, I want to see how they can recover. You know, because that's part of having a DB mentality. Is, you know, when you're back there, I mean, nobody goes through a game, a season, or a career unscathed back there. You're gonna get, you know, you're gonna take your lumps sometimes. So just being able to see them respond to that. So I'm excited to watch him play. I really am. There might be times when I'm doing this, you know, but I'm excited to see him play.
For you now, you know, it's your second season. You have last year there was so many questions coming into the season. Are you more comfortable this year? What's the comfort level like for you as a second-year head coach?
No, I'm not. Believe it or not. You know, I'm just as anxious and just as nervous and. As I was last year, probably any other year, you know, because even though you feel like there's more things that are known, it's really truly until you get out on the field and start playing. All this practice has been great and we've made a lot of strides, but there's still a huge number of unknowns for us. You know, have we taken the steps that we're trying to take that we think we took in the off season to get better? You know, are we able to become a team that plays you know, on the edge all the time, fast and furious, and eliminates some of the unnecessary penalties that we had last year. You know, can we find consistency throughout the year? You know, can we get in a hole and battle back? You know, there's just so many things that are out there to be learned. So I'm nervous as heck. You know, I really am. But I'm also at the same time really fired up to watch these guys go play because they're fired up to play. They can't wait for Saturday. They can't wait.
How do you feel about the overall health status of the team? What do you think that is?
I think it's good. You know, I look at it and you know, anytime you've got some guys hurt, and, you know, I have that kind of mindset. Like I tend to, and I don't mean this to be insensitive, but I kind of I forget about guys when they're hurt because my mind is on who's going to play, not who's not going to play. So, you know, certainly a guy like Oa, you know, he's off the grid because he's going to redshirt. Would love to have Oa. You know, Marcus Rios. He's off the grid because, you know, right now it looks like he's going to redshirt, although he's making huge strides to get back. So I don't think about him. So I just think about the group that we've got right now, and I like where we're at health-wise. You know, I think our offensive line's healthy. I think our defensive line is healthy. You know, we're missing Ian Tobler. In the secondary, you know, the group that, you know, that probably not arguably, probably is the most, you know, uncertain group on the whole team. You know, we're missing a couple really good players in Johnny Johnson, Marcus Rios, and then obviously losing Dietrich Curtis. So I think we're relatively healthy. I'm pleased with the health.
Is there something that you're looking for with Brett, maybe as a leader, to set the tone in the first game?
I just want him to play well, make good decisions, protect the football, make the plays that he's supposed to make. You know, I don't think he has to say anything. I don't think he has to act a certain way. He just has to go out and do his job and play well. And I think he goes out and does his job and plays well, then and all that other stuff kind of takes care of itself. You know, he's a natural leader. He's got natural charisma. He doesn't have to say a lot. Just the way he carries himself is what people respect most about Brett. You know, he's gracious, he's tough, he's hardworking, he's smart, he's committed. All those cliche words. That's what he is. So, all right.